Good morning. It's March 21st. This is Jimmy Skogard, and I'm here to share Grassroots Rising, episode 21, The Social Media Shield. Have you ever felt a sudden tension in your shoulders while scrolling through a feed? I sometimes see a headline or a meme that makes me feel like a direct attack. It's directly attacking my values or my community. My first instinct is to fire back, to set the record straight, or let my frustrations be known. In this episode of Grassroots Rising, I want to offer a different way forward. I call it the social media shield, a way of using our digital presence to protect our peace and build trust in a world that often feels designed to keep us divided. The first thing I need you to understand is the power of these systems that we're interfacing with. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube don't simply show content in a neutral stream. Each platform uses recommended systems to rank and personalize what rises in front of me. Those systems respond to signals like watch times, likes, comments, shares, searches, and what I choose to dismiss. In plain English, the algorithm pays attention to what holds my attention. That matters because the machine doesn't feel my outrage. If I pause on something that makes my blood boil, the software doesn't know I'm disgusted. It only knows I stayed. If I watch, read, click, argue, or share, I'm teaching the system that this kind of content deserves more of my time. In that sense, I'm really training my own digital environment, whether I mean to or not. The good news is that I'm not powerless. Facebook has given me tools like non-interested, hide post, block user, feed controls. Instagram lets me hide suggested posts and even reset my suggested content. TikTok lets me refresh my For You feed and manage topics. X lets me leave the For You timeline and switch to following. YouTube lets me mark videos as not interested, block channel, and other recommendation and change the history settings that influence what comes next. That's a bunch. That's a mouthful. These are not small features. These are ways to push back. I started to think of that as my shield. When I see a post that is clearly designed to inflame me, I don't have to reward it with my attention. I can hide it. I can mute it or block its source. I can mark it as something I don't want more of. Every time I do that, I'm casting a vote for a healthier feed. I'm telling the machine that I don't want division as entertainment. I've also noticed a pattern. A lot of content that gets under my skin does not come from someone I know personally. It comes from pages, organizations, anonymous looking accounts, or sources built to provoke a quick reaction. Sometimes those campaigns are domestic and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're foreign. Sometimes they're coordinated influence operations. Meta has reported taking down covert influence networks from countries like Russia, Iran, China. It says many of those campaigns are out there to spread across our platforms. OpenAI has also reported that covert influence actors have used AI tools to generate comments, articles, fake identities, and other deceptive content. That doesn't mean that every provocative post is foreign or automated, but it does mean that the threat is real enough that I should slow down before I react. That's why I believe we need a few firm rules for our own peace of mind. My first rule is to be skeptical of labels. If a post begins by lumping people into buckets like Democrats, Republicans, radicals, liberals, rhinos, or any other broad label meant to flatten human beings into a caricature, I know I need to slow down because labels are shortcuts. They push me towards reaction before I have taken the time to think, and they push all of us away from understanding. My second rule is to deny the outrage the attention it demands. We don't need to answer every provocation. We don't need to get the last word in with a machine, a page manager, or a stranger whose goal may be to keep us angry. Silence is not surrender when the conversation itself is bait. Silence can be discipline. My third rule is to use the tools the platforms give me. If a feed becomes toxic, I can retrain it. I can hide my posts, mute my accounts, reset suggested content, refresh a recommended feed, switch to a following only view, clear part of the history that is shaping what I see. These tools exist because the platforms themselves acknowledge that recommendations are personalized and the user feedbacks affect future recommendations. I want my digital footprint to reflect the neighbor I'm trying to be, not the outrage the machine is trying to sell me. I want my presence online to encourage, clarify, and build trust. I don't want to become one more person feeding the system that profits from constant agitation. I want to stop feeding the algorithm my outrage. I want to weaken its grip on my attention. When I choose patience over reaction, I protect my peace. When I choose story over slogan and truth over inflammatory labels, I help build a digital space that serves real life instead of distorting it. This is the quiet decision to scroll past the bait, hide the poison, and make room for something better. This is the social media shield. It's not about withdrawing from the digital world. It's about entering it with discipline. It's about remembering that my attention is valuable, my reaction is powerful, and my choices matter. If I want a better public square, I need to start with my own feed. Because agency means the ability to decide our future for ourselves. That includes our digital future. Our children's and our grandchildren's legacy is in our hands now. Join the movement at ScoGuard2026.org or volunteer at go.grassrootsmovement.org. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for listening.